Hey guys, and welcome to my first ever sit-down video. Today I want to talk to you guys about spices. If you're new to this channel, welcome. I'd love to inspire you here with easy and healthy cooking tips and recipes. And so if you guys enjoy, I'd love it if you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. So let's get on to the topic spices. When I first moved out of home, that was the first time I had to start cooking for myself regularly, and I was kind of forced to get to know my way around the kitchen a bit, and it turns out I love to cook, which is why I've obviously created this channel. But when I first started out, one thing that was super hard for me was spices. There's so many different kinds of spices, I didn't know where to start. Obviously, I didn't want to buy 50 different spices and not really know how to use them. I wanted just a few of the essentials for basic everyday cooking. And that was something really difficult for me at the start. I didn't know where to start, where to look, what the essentials are. And I found out that when you start looking online, they give you these lists of 20 or 25 spices that are way too much. So I'm here to help you guys out, and I'm going to give you guys 7 spices that you absolutely must need. Start with these 7 and then you can build your spice collection. In my opinion, these 7 are absolutely enough for day-to-day, for beginners, and a great way to start out. So spice number 1 is definitely cinnamon. Cinnamon is not only great for all kinds of sweet recipes like desserts or even like smoothies, drinks, chai lattes, anything like that, but it's also great for hearty dishes. For example, I love to use cinnamon in combination with ingredients that already have a little bit of sweetness to them, like sweet potato or pumpkin. So I love adding a dash of cinnamon when I use ingredients like those, especially when it comes to roasting sweet potato or pumpkin. Add a dash of that, and it brings this whole new flavor to the dish, and I love it. You guys should definitely try out cinnamon in your main dishes. Another must-have for me is definitely smoked paprika spice. Again, I love using paprika to roast any kind of dish, like as I said, sweet potato or normal potato, or also pumpkin, but also any type of vegetables that I roast. I love adding a little bit of paprika spice, but paprika is also great for anything that has a little bit of a Mexican taste to it, or most one pots I love adding paprika to. I think it adds a little hint of smokiness. It's just great for anything that needs that kind of roasted taste to it. The next must-have spice for me is definitely ground cumin. I add cumin also to my roasted potatoes or roasted sweet potatoes. The first 3 ingredients that I mentioned, combine those with salt and pepper and you're good to go. Cumin is also great for anything that is Asian, kind of like curries, or again, any kind of one pot that it has a little bit of Mexican or South American hint to it, like tacos, for example, or anything with kidney beans and corn. I love adding ground cumin to it. I just think it really pulls the whole dish together. The next must-have ingredient for all of you guys starting out is definitely garlic powder. To be honest, I really don't like cutting garlic, and I'm not a huge fan of crushing garlic. I feel like the flavors are preserved much better when the garlic is actually cut with a sharp knife. For all those days where I'm just super lazy, I don't want to be cutting any garlic or have that garlic smell on my fingers, I always grab garlic powder. Especially when I'm making some kind of salad dressing where I'm too lazy, or I'm making a rice salad, I love to add garlic powder to it. In my opinion, garlic you can never have enough garlic in your dishes, but that is different for everyone. I just feel like garlic just ups the game of the dish, and if you're too lazy to cut any garlic, it's better to use garlic powder than just to skip out on garlic as a whole. Also, if you're not a super big fan of fresh garlic, I would recommend starting out with garlic powder. It's not as aggressive, to kind of ease your way into the garlic game, I guess. The next must-have spice for me is actually a herb. It's dried oregano. For me, it is a must-have in any type of Italian themed dish, so any type of pasta sauce. I love to add oregano, but also if you guys have followed me on Instagram for a while, you guys know that I'm a huge fan of one pots. Depending on what kind of ingredients, if they are Mediterranean, I love to add a little bit of oregano. I feel like that complements each other really well. Another herb that I totally recommend is parsley. I have parsley out in my kitchen next to my salt and pepper just because I use it all the time, pretty much on everything, even as like a finisher just to decorate the dish a little, to add a little bit of greenery. And I don't always have fresh herbs with me just because I'm really bad at keeping fresh herbs. They always die on me. I don't know why. I've researched a ton, but it just doesn't really seem to work out. Maybe this summer I'll start again, but that's why dried parsley is a great alternative for me. I don't think there's any dish where parsley would be wrong, so I sprinkle it on everything, and so that is definitely a must-have for me. Then last but not least, something really important, which is not really considered traditionally a spice, for me is lemon juice. Whether it's from fresh lemons or fresh pressed juice in a jar that you can buy at the supermarket. It's not 100% about the lemon juice. You can also use vinegar as well. The important thing is that it's a condiment that is acidic. Sometimes when you're cooking dishes that need a little bit of a sour hint to it, just add a little bit of lemon juice or vinegar. In my opinion, lemon juice pairs well with all kinds of dishes. On the contrary, vinegar doesn't always go with all dishes, but that is also personal preference. But I just think that lemon juice is far easier because you can add that to almost any dish. For example, if you are making a salad or you're making a rice salad, I always feel like adding something acidic pulls the whole flavoring together. That is something you might need to experiment with. I feel like it's kind of hard to explain, but sometimes, depending on what ingredients you use, there's that acidic note that is just missing. You can add that with lemon juice. I feel like these spices were really difficult for me to explain as to what their purpose is and how they can kind of round off the taste of a dish really nicely. It is honestly something you really have to experiment around with. And cooking a lot of the times is just trial and error and experience. So I really encourage you guys to just try new things out, and even if it doesn't work out, that's totally fine. Just try again. Now you've learned something new. And I really hope that this list of 7 must-have spices, in my opinion, are helpful for you guys. You can start out with these 7 spices, and through trial and error you can add to your spice collection. Let me know if this was helpful at all, and if you'd like to see other videos like this where I go through some of the kitchen must-haves, maybe pantry must-haves or kitchen utensil must-haves. And if you guys enjoy this, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye! Also, if you love my videos and would like to support me, you guys can do so on Patreon. On there, you'll get access to exclusive content, not only to more challenging recipes and videos, but also you guys get to know me a bit better and come along on my travels. So if you're interested in that and like to support me, head on to Patreon. I'd be forever grateful if, other than that, thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!